Hey, this is Daryl as a service for 360 Tutorials, and I, as you can see, am in a laundromat, and sometimes we do need to work from all sorts of different places. I wanted to try and share with you a couple of tips around working with a mobile and maybe a device or two that you might want to use to make that job a little easier. Now, if you remember, we were looking at our Microsoft team that we were saving files to. We saved it to a channel, and we figured out in our last episode about how to create that document using the OneNote app on your mobile. So let's have a quick look at how we might make use of Microsoft Word on a mobile with a couple of devices and different tips as we're working in places like a laundromat. Alright, so we have our Microsoft team. I'm going to go into the channel that we've been working on that document. So this was the files area. Remember, we go to tabs to get to various different documents or applications that we've added to our Microsoft team. Now, we discovered in our last episode that the files tab allows you to view documents but not create them. However, when you click on through to a document that is within your Microsoft team, within your channel, it's going to make use of the application that's already on your mobile. In this case, it's Microsoft Word. So I've got the document open, and this is in a viewer at the moment. Now, we do, within the mobile application, we do have an option to change it into an easier reading mode. So we can quickly review documents, we can read various things, and perhaps respond to someone's email or respond to someone's message in Yammer or Teams and give some quick feedback about that document. So I can move around in that. But to go further than that, I really want to be able to edit this document and add some things to this procedure. So how do we do this on a mobile? Sure, we can whip it out and we can start to edit the document. Now, as I go into edit mode, I have quite a few different tools that are available to me that are quite familiar to me within the Microsoft Word environment. What I've selected here are the different tabs on the ribbon menu. Now, of course, it's not a ribbon in this experience, but I can switch between home, I can insert various different things, and I can, of course, as one of the more recent features, I can also go in and start inking on my mobile as well. Review is another useful one, so if you're wanting to give some quick feedback and add some comments, then you can go and use some of those tools and add a comment to maybe this particular part of the document, and then sort of say this looks good. But what we want to do is rather than tapping around and making some different additions to this document with our thumbs, what I am going to make use of is a keyboard, right? So I actually had it turned on just now. This is the Logitech Keys-To-Go keyboard, which is quite nice. It's flat. It stores quite nicely in your bag if you want to, and it's all just Bluetooth enabled. So you notice that as I've got it turned off now, I can see the keyboard, and I can go back in and edit that opinion. Right, so this is good. Now that does get a bit awkward, of course, tapping away on the keyboard. So this is where I want to introduce us to using one of these kind of devices here. So because it is Bluetooth enabled, then I'm going to be able to just drop this down onto the desk and start using my mobile. Now let's just flick that up. It'll just take a little moment or two for the keyboard to be detected, as you can see there. And now I'm able to start tapping away on the keyboard and start adding various different characters. So yes, we could work in portrait mode. Let's get out of the comments area. I want to add something to this area of the document here, organize another call to record for 10 minutes. So I'm going to drop that down here on the desk. Just add some comments to that. So not only do I want to just organize that 10-minute call, but I also want to do an audio check to make sure that my microphone's good. Mic is good for guest and for me. That's really important to pick up that audio. Now this is kind of awkward, isn't it? I do have a portrait view of things. It's going to scroll across the application as I'm working with it. But what I want to do is just now switch to portrait, rather to landscape mode, and show you what that looks like. Now I did pause the recording briefly because I wanted to be able to capture the screen and show it to you clearly beside, so if you look around you'll also see this preview rather than just what I'm holding in my hand. But I've changed into landscape mode. I've still got the keyboard on, so I've got all my tools available to me down the bottom. And that means that I've got a better view of the document. I can, as I'm typing and working on it, then I can continue to have a good clear view of that text. Now one thing that you might look at doing is getting a keyboard that has something to prop up your phone. Now what I do find is if I'm going into a cafe or I'm trying to do some work using this keyboard, that sure, it's okay to leave it flat on the desk and I can see that, but sometimes I want to be able to prop it up and have more of an experience like I do with a laptop. So, now I can see things a bit better. I've got that touch capability, audio check, mic is good, run, test, and listen to the results before going live or recording. So yeah, this is my pre-flight checklist, pretty important. Now I'm adding things to this document, and before going live, maybe I want to highlight that. So make that a highlight color there. That's pretty important too. And so you get the picture. You're able to achieve quite a lot from your mobile phone while you're working out on the move. Now, simple as that. Let's just go back. I've finished adding some additions to that document. Saving. We'll go back to our Microsoft Team. Now Microsoft Teams is not a landscape application, so let me pause the recording and get back into that. Okay, and we're back to looking at Microsoft Teams, and don't forget to turn this keyboard off too, by the way, so that it's not tapping away in your bag, and it'll also give you back your ability to type on screen, because as you turn it on, it will make the on-screen keyboard disappear. So that's a few tips around how to use mobile and getting some work done with a device like the Logitech Keys-To-Go. I think it was. Let me check. It's easy. We'll go into our Bluetooth settings. What was it called? Bluetooth. Keys-To-Go. Logitech Keys-To-Go is what it's called. So you can get something like that to work with documents on the go and be even more productive from your mobile. That was 360 Tutorials. Thanks for tuning in, and be in touch with more tips that I bring to you, hopefully from different areas like this, a little more exciting than a laundromat. But yeah, just keep tuned in, follow us on Facebook, follow the channel as well, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you again. Bye for now.